Welcome to the Memorabilia Network. I'm Dan Nellis. Joining us today, we have the pleasure of the company of Mr. Tom Chen.
Hello.
Tom, nice to see you.
Yes.
So we wanted to talk to you today because you had a very unique and interesting relationship with Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
And you knew him for almost 3 decades, I believe, correct?
Yes.
So through the years of working with him and traveling with him, have you accumulated anything or collected anything, you know, that's been special to you in relation to him?
Absolutely. I think the times of seeing all the things that were brought up by collectors and getting things signed and everything else, at that time I was like, man, I'd really like to get something special. And I was always trying to figure out, well, everybody's doing, 8x10s and gloves and everything else. And the fact that, obviously I had this relationship with Muhammad, and I just said I wanted something really, really cool and maybe over the top of the time at that time. And I just said, okay, well, I'm going to do this. And with Andy Warhol, I got this suite. And it was, I had one of my art friends find the suite for me. And then I was like, okay, I'm going to get this thing signed. And at that time, I think nobody was definitely doing it because one, it was so expensive,
Right.
just for the suite itself.
Sure.
And then it was always like, okay, this is going to be, I'm going to keep this because no one else is going to have it. We had done previous stuff that were kind of unique, like Olympic torches,
Right.
Robes and stuff like that. But this was really like, there's no one going to get this thing done, okay? And so I said, okay, let's get it done. And I talked to Harlan, and Harlan's like, okay, let's do it. And we ended up doing it at the office. And I remember bringing it in, and I was so nervous. And I had done, Muhammad had probably signed, I've done with him thousands of autographs.
And at this point, you guys are friends, right?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. Very good friends. We shared deals together and
Yeah.
everything else. And the fact that we were at the office, and one thing about Muhammad is we're always trying to figure out, if he has his good days and bad days of signing.
Right.
One day his signature will be fantastic.
Right.
Others, it won't be as good. So I was so nervous.
Right.
Because I was like, okay, man, I'm going to bring this piece in that we spent a ton of money
4
on.
pieces.
4 pieces, not just one.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, well, let's just hope and pray that,
Right.
today's
Today's
a great day.
Yeah.
And that he can put the signature on there that we wanted, right? And so we brought it in at Harlan's office, and I sat down. We sat him down in his office, and I told Muhammad, I said, Muhammad, this is Andy Warhol's piece. It's super special to me. Can you please take your time on it and give me a great signature?
Right.
He looked at me, he goes, absolutely. and he sat there, and I was nervous.
I'm sure.
I
'cause
gave him
you get one chance,
you
right?
get one chance.
Yeah, for all 4 of them.
Yeah, and I gave him a little piece of paper, and he kind of practiced his name a little bit even, and just to make sure that the Sharpie was great,
Right.
And he didn't smear anything or anything else, so he kind of practiced for probably 5-6 signatures actually.
Yeah.
And then I pulled the piece in, and he put his signature on it, and I was just like, oh my God, it's perfect. And we were able to just do all 4 of them at the same time, and it turned out great. So
Yeah.
that was the piece.
And how are you feeling once it was completed? A big sense of relief?
It was relief, and it was just the fact that I was able to do it.
Right.
I think the hardest part is to be able to do it.
Right.
And
Or have the opportunity, because no one's going to bring that into a card show.
Absolutely.
Or even a private signing. They're not necessarily going to ship something like that out, right?
That's exactly right. That was exactly it. Had to have been totally planned, and to have the opportunity, like you said, Dan, is the part, So that was it. Yeah.
So this remains your most favorite.
Oh,
item
absolutely.
in your collection, yeah.
Absolutely. I still have a bunch of other stuff with Olympic torches, which are really cool. Both the 1960s and the 96 Olympic torch.
Right.
And then just, some really cool personal items that he did, like photos that I've taken to him when we were in limousines. I remember he did some face, and I had him sign that.
Yeah.
But just really different stuff. But definitely this piece is by far my best piece.
Yeah.
And I've had it we were just talking, and I've had this piece for, God, close to 30 years. And it's just been sitting there, and so that's the scenario.
So making the decision to part with it now.
I think it's time. I've actually had the opportunity to enjoy it. And I just wanted to kind of see, like, you know what, somebody's really going to appreciate this and love it like I do. And so I think that was just the timing. I think with my kids going into college and everything else, you know, I've got something saved up for them because there's only one suite. I can't give them both of them.
Right.
So I just figured, you know what, this is the time.
Yeah, very good. Okay,
Yeah.
well, Tommy, thanks so much for joining us today and sharing your stories. It was incredibly interesting and insightful. And, you know, as a fan and all of Muhammad fans all over the world, I'm sure that they're going to be happy to find out about your experiences with him and this story as well.
Yeah.
For more information, please visit us at www.thememorabilianetwork.com, and we'll see you next time.